This is our Frontier opening bell for this Tuesday, the 1st of February. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Let's get started. You can see all major exchanges on the continent finishing the green on Monday to finish off the month of January. 91 basis points better in Nigeria, 84 points better in the BRVM. The Egyptian market, 8,029 basis points. They have the Nairobi Bulls up by 1.40% and the GSE better by 1.16%. Okay, let's get through to the East African corridor, where the Kenya Treasury has unveiled the draft guidelines for disaster management fund. The Kenya Power is looking at to start a review of its insurance policies for its various assets in the country. The KPLC is listed on the Nairobi Bulls. And Uganda's National Oil Corporation says today will be the day to finalize on all investments regarding its oil and gas and pipeline projects. And Tanzania's mobile money company, Nala, says it's raised $10 million for expansion within the country and East African community, while Ethiopia's telecommunications says it earned 29 billion barrels, nearly 30 billion barrels in local currency revenue in the fiscal 6 months of last year, 2021. Okay, let's quickly in the Nigerian space, where the Moody's Investor Services yesterday criticized Nigeria's decision to retain fuel subsidies and said that will be credit negative for the sovereign, and says even the next president after the elections of next year will not be able to resolve this issue unless Nigeria decides to take the problem headlong, which has been a major problem for the country's fiscal deficit. And then 100 for 100 PPP, private sector production by local industries was unveiled yesterday by the central bank governor. 28 companies which are pre-qualified were awarded their funding via their banks, including Fidelity Bank. The central bank says the second round of that will be held. Today is the flag off of that day. Then, of course, a new funding regime that will help these companies who are creating jobs locally and using local raw materials will be unveiled. A new FX rounding, which will be transparent, will be unveiled pretty soon, according to the central bank chief. Then the central bank in Ghana holds a policy interest rate unchanged at 14.5% because of inflation risk, similar to the decisions and considerations by Nigerian Central Bank just last week, Tuesday. And the Development Bank of Ghana has a new CEO, Mr. Doka. Okay, let's get the Southern Africa into the mix as we see more earnings being reported across the African frontiers. The National Liquor Traders Association of South Africa is now begging the Ramaphosa's administration not to raise the excise duty imposed on alcohol beverages. And Sibaye in the mining industry said it's buying Ampla's 50% stake in the Krundal Platinum Mine. And Peter Moyo has dropped his claims against Old Mutual. 250 million rand was the deal, damages that he actually placed against the company. That was resolved over the weekend. And Zambia's National Commercial Bank says its fourth quarter net income hits about 374 million local currencies in shillings. In Kwanza, I beg your pardon. Then Zimbabwe's Will Day Limited says full year 2021 earnings revenue up 37%. That's about 1.2 billion US dollars. And of course, the Egyptian market is where we're starting first with the North African market, which returns to the JP Morgan Emerging Markets Index after 10 years exit. And President Al-Sisi's privatization train will continue moving on from the month of March. President Al-Sisi is looking to the sale of a number of state-owned enterprises in the country to the private sector, just to keep the private sector in the driver's seat of the economy. And not so good news yesterday from the World Bank and the IMF, as the initial plan to host the October annual meetings of the World Bank and the IMF in Morocco, North Africa, has now been moved back to Washington, D.C. And Taka Arabia is looking at, considering the likelihood of listing on the Egyptian Stock Exchange sometime in 2023. And finally, Tunisia's BH Bank says its net banking income rose about 12% to 568.7 million dinars in the year 2021. The earnings season is here. We're having a whole lot more to talk about in the days ahead and in the week from across the Frontier Africa. Keep an eye on the show on your YouTube at Frontier Africa Reports. You can go online to read some of the stories and watch our other shows. www.frontierafricareports.com. Go on social media on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, as well as Twitter. We appreciate that. Thank you so much. Subscribe to our YouTube. It's free. I'll see you again. Bye for now.